Okay. Dansa. Hello, everyone. Good morning, and welcome to another episode of our Seven Generation podcast. Today, we're joined by Sandra, who will be. Okay, wait, hold on. Wrong one. Time out. Okay. Okay. So again, today I'm honored to be joined by Sandra, who is the project lead for the Cree Language Project um out on Elite Cree Nation, along with team members Janelle, Tiara, and Donna. We'll be talking about the elders and Cree language gathering that took place on Sunday, December 7th, the Cree language survey that was launched yesterday, upcoming home visits, and what the future looks like for Cree language revitalization, including the community language audit, the project director position, and the development of a language and culture department. Um, this work is about our language, our identity, and our responsibility to future generations. With that, we'll get into it. Sandra, as the interim project lead, can you share an overview of the Cree Language Project?
Sure. Thank you for having me here today. Very happy to be here in Onion Lake. And back in February of this year, I approached uh, Kyle to apply for these dollars that they were available. And he said, go ahead. We did it. We got approved. And the whole, I guess, point of the project is to reclaim and revitalize our language, um, the Heian language, to, I guess, reconnect everyone back to who we are, right? Because who are we without our language? So it's a really important initiative to for all Indigenous people right across Turtle Island to recapture their language after um, colonial practices tried to wipe it out. So this project specifically is about reclaiming and revitalizing the Nehawan language. And it's more than words because our language carries our culture, worldview, and our relationship to the land. And so building this community language plan, which is the second step after the community language audit, will help everyone in the community reflect on a shared vision. So everyone will be participating, everyone will be part of it. And it'll be a huge, huge achievement for the community. And it will give us, the technicians who will be involved, a realistic path forward to implementing our language all over in all aspects of our lives.
Oh, hi, hi. How are the elders and language speakers central to this work?
So, in doing some of my research on successful language initiatives, such like the Maori in New Zealand, have had a lot of success. So, they've developed mechanisms to measure like where their immersion is at, where their language is at, like because it fluctuates, right? It doesn't. It'll go into a big, everyone's immersed, and it'll go down. Like it's almost like generation, right? So it's got to they're concerned about keeping it going, right? So they developed a model called Zipa, and it's based on the level of speakers, right? So you have zero speakers, partial speakers, who either they're not against promoting the language, they're not exactly for it, right? They're kind of middle ground. And then you have your active speakers. Your active speakers is where you have to center everything around in terms of revitalizing your language. So everything, and elders are our active speakers. Fluent, they think in Nehawan, they speak in Nehawan, their worldview is in Nehawan. So we have to create everything around them. So this is why it's so important for this first part of this initiative that we nurture all the elders to be ready to take their seats because their seats are very important in this project. Um, Donna helped co-facilitate the event with the elders, and I would just like to give the floor to her. I'm sorry, I
Yeah.
took away your job.
Yeah. No, it's good. It's
I
good.
just didn't have no more. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's good. I do have that on my list of questions, but yeah,
Okay.
no, that's a good segue into that.
Okay.
So go ahead, Donna. Donna.
Okay. Nisto tanot se pe wi tap magego ke pe mam skuta mama ne hi awe wen ego tanse wi sa to skata mama stay ma to skewen ego ta ka pe mamo ka wi pe wi tap magego ke te ego ta ya aso mego pe ke pe gi se pe puti niso a ko ya mstahe ka tmotik ka pix ko ke te yak mstahe ato ta ge ta pe oma en ta wait ta mama this Kistanoma, this language, our language, ito one pag in pamaga, in pimaga, ito guskunama. We have to wake our language up. So kahit ito Sandra no say tapwe pugo pagkete Kistano kapat si hagok kawit sa to skemago kay gumutayam egipite ko ta we pinaso nega stemao kagwe nistanan gape etigwe ayam tansigis punta tamauma egwayam tapekta ipis pa kami gama kapmat simaga kete agis kinamawasun ego nistanan ayam gagano apate nan tapo ego mangapatita nan ayam tan sumagis pasuguna magawe kese kusko na mai tego magpixko no gistano ayam mistahigitaguta ketewag and Yananumtanawag Kegamta Tatringetan 59 elders that were registered. Egotaga pipitiga pe pixquetiga atit mo pixquewag osame mitzetia. Ego ego kapegi sigepia mitatat te paigan ituga matsita ego nyanan te paigan kinese go magisigaw. Momstegi kaskitaw kapwa kapit kape kaptik. Ego itangiga katsimotsigange ape witap ngwagok ape atmusta gwagok ego negmsta hito wag tapwe pinehiaw no magista no nehia well no nehia wetto ewen nehia pixquewen ego gisno gagot gatos katama ego gaito et sandra gaganoita mauma the language keepers ito ay muito kagiganoita maswea exmanitan puga magistano gapago inamago kamiago kitsasim sinog kusimnog ego gistano ayam ayman gaito etige it matsi magama pixquon no gistano pagkapmiago kitsasim sinog gusto kap matsi to tagi gama ayan nihiawen ego may iniganas tegit tego apuman kakagismo within the prayers that we have Mstayman aya nehiawe when kitapatita no mstahe apo gato tamagigwe gaso magagipes pa gapo tikaks kinama wasoin ektamin gape kagi miano getto go kama gipix no Mariu gimiasa na mama yam kete kama mo paitik gitam gitute no we will have another one ego gispine guy Kanehiawen peitute. If you even if you don't speak the language, peitute, just come. Come pewitapnan, come and sit with us, come and join us. Msoats kapmuiti tinan. Ego gispin msoats ay moy we pix ko in moy gatats min kapix ko yeg. But gigoy gagamitu tinanam gagam mama upay Gagam mama upay no. Mama upya. Except pagapitama.
Hi. Another question. This is going back to the elders gathering that we had there. For Sandra and Donna, what were some key moments or teachings that stood out to you?
Nitige gamatitan. Key moments. Kigo maigo ayam gahapataman. Mstay na naskumotsike teyak epewapatotsik epegiugatotsik. Just the visiting um within within our even our own community. Mogatse wapatotsik. And there's some people that ego epe witapistatotsik since before COVID maybe. 이거 COVID 가기 악세 웸스테가 가기 난또 이뚜때 찍게 때 now they're coming out and that was so and it was so positive the egoman that elders gathering it was very positive imieta kigo epegiogato tsige peatsimotsig and I think the biggest part was that they were heard kapetaw itsik
Mm,
epeatsimotsig.
mm,
Yeah, I go. That was the big key moment I think for myself was that they were so excited. They're
Mm.
excited, and that was good for me to see.
Hey, hey. Sandra, do you have anything that stood out to you during
um,
that time?
their stories, especially when they talk about the simpler times and how that just kind of just I don't know, just kind of restores their soul, like their spirit, when they remember those good times and they remember just talking their language freely and
Mhm.
um, those are the good things that they focused on and I was really thankful for that because we have to move through those hard discussions, those hard things that come up and still remember there was a lot of good too that our ancestors made sure that we knew,
Mhm.
so I'm really excited to get into the community and hear the language. Like I don't hear it much, so to hear that, I was just like, my ears were like blessed. It was really nice to hear so much good Cree being spoken and like every single word, not like little bit broken here and there because there's so many speakers who don't or so many people who don't understand. It was just purely in our language, and I love that.
Mhm.
So I think we're on the right path for sure.
Mhm.
Mhm. I just want to add to that because I was there too, and for me too, I think just to have that opportunity to be able to create that space for them.
Mm,
They expressed that a lot that they appreciated just being acknowledged and honored, being invited to come to the circle and visit and catch up with each other again. And like Sandra said, like just hearing the language, it's always a blessing. um and it's kind of funny to say that because back in the day when we were younger, when I was younger, it seemed to be abundant in the community wherever you went, around the store, the schools, the arena. It was like you just heard it all the time. um, and for whatever reason, nowadays, not so much. Even though we still have a lot of the Cree language speakers here in the community, um, and like Donna said, for some reason, like it feels like, and I don't know this stuff for a fact, but like it's kind of like going to bed, or like it's kind of quieting down, I guess. So to have this event that we had a couple weeks ago, it was really good to just, I guess, launch this language project. um and there's something here I want to touch on too further, but just for the people out there, and we all know this as the tech crew here, this language project is a 5-year project in terms of funding. So we have guaranteed funding for the next 5 years for this project, and December 7th was the initial kickoff for that. So just for the community, just a little heads up, you'll be seeing us around more. You'll be seeing us on the live streams more. You'll be seeing more of our community members, our elders, and Cree language speakers. That's something on our to-do list, is to go around visiting the community and just trying to, capture the stories and hear the language and capture the ideas on how can we strengthen the language in Onion Lake, especially amongst the young people like us, say like 40 and under generation, right? I think we all know it's like a lot of us in that age bracket, the older ones, are familiar with it. We heard it. But I think the more down the age bracket you go, I think it kind of diminishes a little bit. So the whole idea with this project is to transfer the knowledge and the skill from the older generations to the younger generations. And like we mentioned, it's an ongoing project for 5 years, but we all know that education is like lifelong, right? So this will be a thing for the next while, but I think formally the next 5 years we'll do what we can to build the foundation and just continue building on top of that. Um so I think with that, I'd like to go over to our two young ladies here. I think this project is lucky to have them. So I question for the young ladies here, whoever wants to go first. Can you introduce yourself and speak a little bit about your education and training and experience in language in general? So with that, I'll hand the floor over to one of you.
So I can go first here. So danse kakyo tutamak mio kiksepayo tiaro pisna tsigasan vitegas ksio sagai gane utsindia. So my name's Tiara and I'm from Onion Lake. And I was brought into this project to do this community language assessment survey. And a little bit about my background is that I have been really interested in languages ever since I was a teenager. And it wasn't until I was in university that I started getting more interested in our language. So that's why I decided to go down the road of linguistics and Indigenous language revitalization. So for the past 5 years, I've been taking courses related to this field: Indigenous language documentation, Indigenous language revitalization. And I've also worked on other projects outside of Onion Lake to do one in Manitoba and master apprentice program, things like that. And for the past year or so, I've just been kind of just chilling, like not really doing much stuff with the language. So I'm really happy to be brought into this project because it's something that I've been wanting to do. I know I've been wanting to be more involved, especially with our community, but I'm always like too afraid to take that first step. So I'm really thankful that I was brought into this language assessment, and I'm excited to see where it goes. I'm still learning Cree. I'm learning with my Gukum Florence. We're doing master apprentice program right now. And I'm just really excited to see how this assessment will help us determine what we can do for our language and what are the next steps, and to see how these next 5 years go and beyond that. So yeah, thank you.
Hi.
Hi, Tiara. All right, danse gakyo, Janelle stick nitsiga sonegwa, uta, witegas kasusaga unik, eutian, kayate, egwamina, niga we Janet stick, egwa, Brian McDonald, nuta we, Nugum Pan Frida stick, astimina, Solomon Stone, Nimusum Pan, mosquito ute, egwa, absissa about nia, Megwate Giskanamaxian de Amisquatiwa Skaigan, U of A, ATEP, ayot naman, my master's in Indigenous Education. Gegatse wigisita yan nisa classes giapits. Gitam higapelpi sima ispaige. We graduate yan. Maga nanas kuman kitam skat na wow gakyogi wow e wapat me kuma e gwa asti gakyogi wow and do the me kuma gigwao. Yeah, okay. I've been contracted to lead this project, this initial phase of this project. So alongside with Tiara, we'll be doing two crews out there doing home visits. So for my crew, I'll have myself and 5 others. So we'll be doing home visits and yeah,
Through the holidays.
and through the holidays, we'll have a schedule. We have a set schedule. We wanted.
Did you guys create a schedule? Not yet. What we will post the schedule. So, and probably your cell phone numbers if people want to
Yeah.
connect.
Well, actually, can I mention my actually looking for 2 more recruits. So I'm I have 3 so far. So expect to see Kylan McDonald. He is a recent graduate of the Beauty and the Beast. What is it? Beauty, Life and the Beast men's program. And then also Mylan Lewis. She will also be one of the crew members. She's a post-secondary student at the Lethbridge Polytech. And then she has her crew member with her. And then I'm looking for 2 more recruits. So I'm looking for either post-secondary students who are home for the holidays, looking for something to do, or either I'd like to target former Keheo Whatston students. As we all know, Keheo Whatston has been in operation for 20 years, and we have adult students who are can help us with this. So with that, they would need available transportation, and if childcare is needed, then and hopefully you have that covered, and then your commitment to language preservation and just believing in this program and what it stands for, and that's what I'm really looking for in a crew. So if you have yourself or somebody want to be a team and you feel that you want to join us in this over the holidays, email me at speakcree@creeforthesoul.com. That's SPEAKCREE at CREEFORTHESOLSOUL.com. And then I'll just select 2 recruits. Hopefully you can apply as a crew, 2-man crew.
What's the time frame for that? Like starting now or
Yeah,
tomorrow
We're
or
kicking it off today at the community event. So we'll be out there. Tiara and Janelle, Donna will be floating around. We have some tablets that will make taking the survey quite easy. We can answer any questions that anyone has. And to also bring some more motivation, we've got some amazing door prizes that we will be drawing at the end of the night for those who participate in the survey. What was the other question? Sorry.
time frame? Is there
Timeframe,
a
yes.
closing date or do we want to keep it open ended?
Within the community, like we've got right now a small goal from today until December 30th to try and track some
Surveys, like get
surveys,
them
like get them
done.
done. So that's why we're doing such a big crew, so we have more
Okay.
bodies out there, and we anticipate we would like to get at least 50% of the community during that time. Our ultimate goal would be 100%, right? But if we get even 60%, the data we get from that will give us enough to start creating the community language plan. So that's the ultimate goal, is to get the data. That'll be the baseline for this entire project. So because we don't want to do things that are already done, right? And we want to get inspired from the community's outreach in terms of what they think will work, because none of us are real experts, right? So we want to reach the community as best way we can.
Sounds good. So just for the viewers out there, how does this look like? Is it just people gonna be showing up at your house, knocking on the door, asking if they could come in and do this, or is it prearranged? Just so people are not alarmed, right?
So what I envision for my crew is a set time. So I don't want my crew going out 8 a.m., 9 a.m. I'm going to set them for a good 8-hour schedule, probably 10 to 6. You can expect my crew out there from 10 to 6 p.m. They will be just rolling up. Just be friendly. If you've done the survey already, just let them know. If there's more in the house that need to do with the survey, just let them know. They will be having the names for the draws there as well too for the
Yeah.
home visits. So
We'll be doing another draw at the beginning of January for those who participate in the at-home surveys, like when the crews go out. So we'll have another draw at the beginning of January when everything opens up again, and then probably have another draw for the people doing it online mid-January. I anticipate we should get a lot of surveys completed by then.
Sounds good.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead, Donna.
I'll just add a month ago, Patamig, there's a poster on right now on the screen, and you'll see that QR code. Gispinigama. Even if you see this poster at Cardinal Store or at the McHale Mall or wherever you are, if you see this poster out there, QR code a must still on the bottom. Magispin cell phone, gagamitin. You just open your camera, scan that code, and then the survey will come on. It only takes about 5 to 10 minutes. Ego gispin guihon gui mas nahenik tama still nanto kamas naman guihon. You can write your name on there, state your name on there, and you will be entered into those draws as well. So, and this is really handy. Like gispin, if even if you tell them, hey, I say I filled out the survey on my phone at the mall, so munanto, you're good. But this actually this poster too is on the OLCN website. You can go on there and then you can complete the survey on there as well. So there's so many ways we can do this. That's why I say, you know what, when Sandra said 60%, no, I want 80.
Oh, that would be awesome. Goals,
90.
goals.
The more the merrier. We will have more information, and you know what, this will be so rich. This survey will be so information rich for us.
Yeah. So just I guess to continue on with how we're tracking it. So we are tracking all the information. It is confidential. So our surveyors and our leads here, Tiara and Janelle, will see who's done it, and that's so they won't be duplicating a lot of the stuff. So just to let everyone know. Yeah. So we will see if you've done it.
Okay, next question. So the discussion around the survey right now, I know there's another term kind of synonymous to this, and that word or that term is a community language audit. What does that mean?
It means okay. It means just like a financial audit, an audit basically shows where organization or business is at. Okay. So in terms of community, we need to see where Onion Lake is at in terms of resources, speakers, where language is being implemented, where it needs to be implemented. So it just gives us that big picture that we need to develop a community language plan. That's basically all it is. So it's a very generic survey. We don't ask a lot of personal questions. But yeah, like it'll just give us the picture we need to move forward to the next step. And then once that community language audit, depending on where we're at, come into January, we may have a large community engagement as well to bring more people in.
Sounds good. What is the purpose of the survey? You probably answered it already, but maybe just from a different angle. What are some of the maybe questions or information that we're trying to gather I know in previous discussions, one kind of item that kept popping up is trying to put a number as to how many people in the community can speak the language. So I know maybe that's what part of it. Is there anything? What other types of questions that should people expect in regards to the survey or audit?
We do have an off scripted question that will be a tobacco question with the surveyors that we won't be documenting on paper. So that's kind of one special aspect to this because we're just trying to protect our ways.
Mm.
So just be prepared for that question from the surveyors. Ewa, do you have any more?
Ego pogo. Aya. Ste mom sats kami go na wow. Gagagwetsim go na. Itagutet tawagate. Ogot ya skinik skwag. Kispin na sots kagwetsim go now. And then another thing on this that amuta service survey kay tutak, it does ask matis atanse how 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 do you see yourself learning the language itigo? There's different ways. Ito still wayawitime land based. Is it in a circle, a small group circle, large group circle? So kasi sa papito sa tastewa sats if you need some help satsik tanis tanan gawitsit nan Potenya kihewats tanin tatoskan kispinog no tepewa pamtse gawitsit. Now, Misatsan Himina, there's going to be paper surveys, right? So if you decide to pick up a paper survey, and if you need to come and kapewit up me in, you can come and sit with me or phone me and then I'll come and sit with you. Moiminanto iguanma. So we'll just make ourselves available. But I think there's about 10 questions. 10 questions, hey? And it's pretty straightforward. Moya so at kispin no te pix squego kapesep tiganawa. Next.
Okay. Sounds good. Yeah. So I think, oh, yeah, good, Tiara.
Yeah, the survey is kind of structured in a way where it's in sections. So the first part is essentially about demographics. We want to know like the age range of where the survey is coming from, so we know like we can look at it later and see where we need to put more work into. And then the second section is about language ability. You're gonna have to kind of self assess yourself on how you think you could speak the language. And I think the third part is language attitudes within the community, how you feel about the language. And then the last part is kind of like an open ended on feedback on how you want to needs how what can help you to learn the language. And it is only 5 to 10 minutes, so it's pretty straightforward.
Right on. Yeah. No. Yeah. So I think that's a good kind of point, I guess, to get out there. Another big reason for this survey and this audit is to also try and identify or just get the feedback on what are the different types of ways or the different types of things we could do as the tech crew to help people learn the language. What are the different teaching styles? I know like classroom style is always an option. But there was also a mention in one of the previous meetings we were in, like webinars or seminars or things online. So maybe that's another option we could provide with the young ladies here or whoever we identify for that. But also to get the feedback from the membership, how can we or what can the program do to get through to your kids? How can we help increase the knowledge of the language within our children primarily? And then I think that's where the feedback from the parents would come in. Is it books in Cree? Is it games? Is it like what is it, right? So hopefully the participants in the survey will be able to provide that type of feedback for us. And again, like mentioned, this could be done online or in person, which will where the home visits come in. And the prizes, there's gonna be tablets up for grabs, for prizes for participating and other things like that. So
one tablet
okay, one tablet. Okay,
and 3 wireless
okay,
earpods.
okay, cool. So yeah, some good incentives for the kids. Save a few bucks if you missed a gift for someone on Christmas. The draws will be ongoing. I think, I don't know, random times, I think, throughout the next couple weeks. So get in on the draw, do the draw or do the survey. Your name will get entered into the draw. They'll be happening at random times, and some cool prizes up for grabs. So next question. How will this information be used to guide the project?
This information is going to be the baseline we use to develop our community language plan. What is a community language plan? Who can define that here? Go ahead, Donna.
So, community language plan. So in our community, Simon, a community language plan. It's a whole. Okay, so the whole community comes together. That's good. So how it will look is the whole community will come together, or a representative from each family will come in, and we'll all sit together. So the first really we just look at the mapping of the language. Where do the language speakers live? Where do they work? And then from there, and that's exactly what Sandra mentioned. We know who are the language speakers, and that's who we're going to be utilizing it to be assisting in sharing the language. So that's the first part, is that identifying language speakers, where they live, which area of the reserve, and then from there we will develop I'm on language law sigatamuk, language mandates. How we're gonna move forward as we revitalize reawaken our language. How are we gonna move forward with that within the community? What is going to help us? So gamam skutano, it's the Mori people, they have a big plan, and that's exactly what we need. And I do know that's where on Hanta, what's Sansa, the language nests come from there, the mentor apprentice program, so there's so many ways that they've used different strategies, methodologies, that we can do that too as a whole community, everybody working together. And then this language plan, there's going to be so much, and I can envision this. There's going to be so much language. That's good. Uhut tas ko tsuma susquataigeo gamikapunis na mamain susquataigeo gamigumatan sumegam tagisigate kanehiawitaya apo anian like memorial communiplex ay sigate o tansma kes nehiawitaya kiskinao matugam gumino he tapo asay pewasina gonitagon Egigo paitagagigatek pewasinaguan. Paimiasa kami goma big squewen magigomana apito pagkapatita pewa muenanto goma isitwe pewasinaguan egoma amigo emiasik itwewen. Kihe Watston, Kihe Osapuin, Eagle View, Kihe Osapuin. Chief Taylor, ego pogego mina tansitu egisigatama. Ego ama sagas kutsneteuga is piminot kaks nama agustik sagas kutsegumina miwigateo. Magigunigakyo kispin gesimam tonitama. Ego min mana ya Heritage Park, ego min mana imam tonitama. Tansigi sigatama ego Heritage Park. Igunigakyo gigwe kispin gatos katama. And that there's a language law min gagip musita no Taskutsuga atuske wak atuske winawak wistoga gwegutzitzig. Ayumutagani, but this past summer we had for all the employees we hosted a Cree immersion to the Nehiawe when I orientation sigatamuk egogut well unigani wagu tautse igintoitak. So they wanted this, and so we developed an orientation for all new employees coming to work in Onion Lake, and it was a land-based language immersion orientation. And that was this past summer. It went well. We've only done it once, and we're going to do it again next year. So any new employees coming into Onion Lake with administration, with health, with wellness, with CFS, any organization within Onion Lake will be expected to take this two-day program that we had created to do like an orientation for for the community of Onion Lake. So those kind of things, to put those forth,
Mhm.
and so that's all that comes within that language plan. They'll be mandated. There'll be a mandate. But yeah, it's gonna be like I can see this being so rich in tapo musitan istam stahigo imieta mane. I love this. I love this work, and I think it's gonna do well for our community.
That way.
Hi. Just to add on to that question, maybe for Sandra, maybe this is more your kind of area. In terms of the audit, how does this help shape future programming, resources, and funding?
With the community language audit, that'll lead into the community language plan. Once Onion Lake has its community language plan developed, assessed, reviewed, accepted, that is then submitted to our funders, and that will basically be the key to have ongoing program funding for as long as we need, which is key, right? 5 years is not a long time.
Mhm.
It'll go by very quick. And there's generational, we have to keep it up, right? So say we do good work now, what's to say it's going to be passed on? It's all intergenerational, right? It has to
Mhm.
be continually passed down. Even the French are talking about them losing their language right now. Like that was a shock to me. That's their second official language in Canada. So even them, right? So English has taken over a lot of different cultures, just for various reasons, right? So that's kind of where it leads to, right? And it also goes into governance. Did you talk about governance? I didn't catch a lot of what you said in the
Well, I did talk about
with the
the
community plan.
Kista Noir leadership. Yeah.
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 So ultimately, the goal, the way this 5-year project is set up, is for beginning, right? We look at the community, and then we look at the administration, and like she talked about, and then we go into governance, right? How is Onion Lake going to develop their laws in our language, right? So it's a huge, huge undertaking, huge project. But at the end of the day, the end of the 5 years, we would hope to see Onion Lake stepping into its true sovereignty, right? Everything in Nahiwan, negotiations with the government, negotiations with any international peoples. We speak in Nahiwan, just like, those big corporate people, they have to learn Mandarin because they have to deal with so many Asians, right? So, like that, they have to know our language in order for you to come and talk to us. Like that is the ultimate goal, right? Sama.
Yeah. I think another thing too, just in terms of like proposals out there, funding, proposal driven funding. I think a lot of times when you can, as a part of your package, when you can identify the numbers and the metrics, and putting numbers to the measurements,
Mhm.
and tracking the trends. Is it going up? Is
Yes.
it going down? Is it working? Is it effective?
Yeah.
Is it something worth continuing to invest in? I think just in terms of the proposal or the case to strengthen that, especially when it's like competing for dollars. Hate to say that, but if you can show like the
Metrics.
metrics behind all of that, I think it strengthens your case for future funding. So as an initial step for this project, I think it's really important what like this initial phase of what you guys are doing here is really important for like, and also like information is power, right?
Mhm.
So like this whole phase right now is all about gathering information and then being able to use that to identify the next best step. How can we make the effective initiatives, like how can we make them more effective based on the information that we've gathered, and how can we continue building on that? So that really cool.
And we will, after the surveys are done, I think in like how we're going to kind of carry out communications is just to be transparent, because the more transparent we are, the more buy-in we will get. So after the surveys are done, we will be sharing those stats and metrics with you guys, just so you know as community members where your whole tribe is at in terms of fluency.
And I think there will be reassessments done.
Yeah.
So surveys to be done at least maybe another year.
Yeah.
You know, maybe next year again we'll be having a table set up at the community Christmas dinner, and we'll do another reassessment. So kapemi next to keep just to keep track. Tanto mego
Mm.
with the plan.
Yeah. Question for Tiara and Janelle. Just from your perspective, why is this work important for Onion Lake Cree Nation right now?
Yeah, Tira. Gamata.
So I think that language assessments or language audits are very important as a whole. Like they were talking about for these past few questions, just to see where our language is at and where we need to put more work into as a community. I was just looking at the answers, like the comments at the end, and even those comments that people left at the end were very valuable because they said there's like really long paragraphs and they said some really like meaningful things in that section. So just giving people a voice. I know some people are too afraid to talk about their opinions and their ideas. So this survey can give you a voice. If you have any ideas or anything to say about Cree language as a whole, this is a good place to put it at the end. And also long-term language planning, like Donna said, reassessing every year. Because I was thinking about like, you know how Canada, they send out like a survey. I don't know, like Survey Canada. I'm not sure what it is. And there's like a lot of language statistics on there too. We can have our own in our community and we can look back at that like 5 years ago, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, and see how our language has changed over the years because of this project. And yeah, I just think it's a really wonderful start, a wonderful way to start this project. And also, like Fraser mentioned too, it'll be really useful for applying for other grants. If we have this data, we can share that we already did this and we want to do more. And this is where our language is at in our community. So reaching out to funders or what's the word I'm looking for? Grants. Yeah, looking out for grants and things like that. And yeah, I think that's all I have to share.
Thank you. Very good. Okay. All right. Okay, we'll switch gears a little bit. Looking forward. I know right now, there's, like we mentioned, it's an ongoing project. and it's in phases. And right now, what Janelle and Tiara are doing is a really key piece to this whole thing. Question for Sandra: looking beyond that, from now until March 31st, fiscal year end, what can people expect in regards to this project? Will there be more elders gatherings, language gatherings, a language conference, workshops, online seminars, or anything like that? What could people expect around that from now till March 31st?
Right now, I'm in the process of recruiting some strong facilitators in Neheoan ways and language. And so it's been kind of slow going in that aspect because they're all in demand right now. So I think I may change direction and maybe do an RFP or, a call out for facilitators to assist us, because I really want to get some big workshops done. And I'm also talking with someone about planning a language conference come either probably this summer, realistically, because those kind of take a lot of time and they take some expertise. So I would love to see a big language conference hosted by Onion Lake by next summer. So expect to see workshops, expect to see the elders actively being involved in these workshops. They will be focused on the elders, but you are invited to come, of course. So yeah, that's what's in the next couple of months. And I'm also going to be helping Onion Lake develop their language and culture department. So we can house this somewhere, right? So we've got some big ideas, some big plans that are very feasible. They're not too big or out of reach. And we will be actively recruiting in the new year for a project director to kind of take over where I came in. And so I'll be mentoring them and training them, and then they'll be taking over the reins after March 31st. So if you are passionate about this, you understand a little bit about project management, you can speak Neheoan well, you understand how to bring people together in a good way, then watch out for that posting.
Thank you. Just an idea, just putting this out there. I know February there's a week off for school, reading week. We have our winter fest coming up here in Onion Lake. I think it's around that same area. Would there be an opportunity or a consideration of maybe doing something language related in that, maybe a little conference locally, or something like that, while there's a lot of people here? Just
How many communities come into Onion Lake for that?
it's in the planning stages right now. It's primarily Onion Lake, but I think the big one for us is like the hockey. I think there's gonna be a hockey tournament, so we'll have different teams coming. I think there's gonna be a round dance as a part of the whole week. But it's all up in the air right now, so there'll be a lot of traffic here during that time.
That is definitely something to think about. I don't see why it would be an issue. Like, that would be actually a good time to, get people to buy into, protecting and revitalizing our language.
Or we could have something going on at the same time, simultaneously with the Winterfest.
Yeah.
Just another thing with that, though, is everybody wants to stay at the
hockey rink.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking. How do we pull them away from their kids?
Yeah, we'll think about something. But I think even it will be a good thing.
Yeah, we'll figure something out.
Mm-hmm.
And I haven't discussed it with anyone. It's all in my mind. I would love to have at the end of March, beginning of April, a big round dance to kind of, celebrate welcome in spring and like celebrate the elders, and to continue that momentum of revitalizing our language.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Right on. So So just going back to the language and culture department, just I just want to add to what Sandra was saying. I think there's a desire from the senior admin level. It's an idea right now to post for a like a director for a culture program or a culture department in Onion Lake. So just keep an eye out for that. um I think the long term vision with that is to have a standalone department in this area to continue to work and to bring the different culture programs together in the community. How can we work together? And how can we achieve these goals that we want to achieve for our kids? And again, it all circles back to how can we strengthen the language, especially amongst the young people in the community, and how can we capture and retain the knowledge that a lot of our elders have, and how can we build that bridge from the older generations to the younger generations. So yeah, I think with that, I'm at the end of my set of questions. Before we move on, is there anything else that anybody would like to add? Did we forget to touch on anything, or you want to add to anything that was mentioned?
Just that this will be ongoing, and you guys and in the community will see more of us. Will be as the team builds and the different streams of activity start rolling out. You will see a lot of us in the community being active and trying to promote this project and revitalizing waking up Punska. No, hey, when
Okay. All right. So I think with that, in closing, I'd like to have a little roundtable. Just is there, or what message would you like to share with the community? Just in regards to this project. Um, yeah, just any last closing thoughts or words of encouragement or anything like that.
Nietegwe ngamatsitan. Staiman nanaskomon. I'm very grateful ni stepe penehiawian pegaskitan. Ego itapuagitaman man nehiawatsuin nehiopematsuin epepmatsigan nista. And I'm forever grateful. Igo man pemusitan nista igo me esugitaman nehiawatsuin nehio kitu kakakit ka nehio itoewin gagito yuma kista nois kagito no. Ego magape witsip mati magama kape witsip matsia. Umutaya kitaskino. Igmanego epeaiwage tamanista. Tapoeteganista ne mamain askomanayam mo exketaman tansi geisito angigwe. Pito moimstamin manoeko takagi nehio pixquatagasko egomana wawangeskisian. Magitego gispin gehtea kapega witapmagig iktagawa yam. Nga penehiawan. Ngaga memon kisto gaga memoyeg. Wapmiego nanto. Nehiawek. Ikman istoitan. Nehiawetan. Nista nanaskomon gape witapmianot. Nanaskomon nista gape tomgowianot gape mamskuta mauma nehio pixquewen. Neguse kagi samustamonan saat kisto wow. Tatoskeon nano me uyaima isinagon. But nanaskumanan. I'm grateful. Hi.
Just to add on to what Donna said, if you see her around, don't be afraid to ask for 20 bucks.
Hey, I'm not on council.
Okay, we'll go to Tiara and then Janelle. Just any closing messages for the community in regards to the project.
Okay, so I know that sometimes it can be a bit like you feel a bit anxious when it comes to questions surrounding your own language, and some people might feel a bit nervous or maybe even a bit shameful for when they get asked how much Cree they can speak, or things related to that. I know some people get nervous about that, but this survey, this language assessment survey, we're hopefully trying to change those feelings. Use this as an opportunity to share your voice on what we can do to help you bring back your language, help you speak the language, help you understand the language. Because I know a lot of people in my generation, especially, maybe they don't have a very strong feeling about keeping our language alive. But I just encourage everybody to take it, even when it comes to that language attitude section. That'll be really helpful for us to see how people feel about the language, especially from my generation. And I'm hoping that through this 5-year and beyond that, we can do more programs for people of my generation. So put your message in there, your comments, and yeah. So I just encourage everyone to take it, and if you have any questions, you can ask us, or if you need more clarification, we'll be happy to answer those.
Ay.
Alright, danse. I mean, same na upsiski gwe nistan skaten moita pwe ngaski tanta pagaskine hiowan maga Mr. Hin skaten Mr. He skaten osam. I grew up with the language and I grew up in a fluent speaking home, and Mr. Hin and Askumon epsi egi upigi goyan. It's our generation. It's our generation that needs. That is that key, a really key piece in this, because we're at that teeter-totter point, that 40-year-old gap where we can be that bridge, and so I'm calling on for that generation, our generation, to step up and step it up. I know our generation knows it's in their heart. Maga, they're silent speakers. Mr. Henny stan tapuge tenuma nite hik mana nemusi tanuma kipik squawano Mr. He I don't know what I'm trying to matsimaga it's a gift. So yeah, boga.
Hi.
That's very well put. I just think we're at a place now as Naheo people that we don't need to ask permission anymore. We just need to do it. And, you don't need anyone's permission to be who you are, Naheo. And just go forward with that. I am in a situation right now back home in my community where I'm the last generation. Then the next one's after the elders. And we don't, my peers and I, we don't speak it. We hear it, we understand some, but we do not speak it. So for me, in my community, home community, it's a really critical time. And I'm just hoping that and praying that everything will work out over there. But here, you hear it all the time. So you guys are blessed to have the language, even though it's not where you guys want it to be. It's here and it's living and breathing. So get out there, talk to your kids, even if you just know a little, say those words to your kids, let those ears be blessed with our language. And that'll just start it all. And get excited about it. Get excited about being who we are. Sama.
Hi. Before we go, if people have questions or they want more information or they want to book themselves in for a home visit, is there a contact number? Where could people reach out for more information?
I'm open to sharing my cell phone
Okay.
and email. Okay. And then I can direct to Jadelle and Tiara, since I am the project lead here.
Yeah.
So I think it would just be best for me to filter everything out. Yeah.
Okay. Could I add it to this video after?
You absolutely
I'll
can.
put it on our post just so people have a point of contact
Yeah.
for more info.
Yep.
Okay.
And I just need their names and house numbers.
Okay.
and then that's it. So short and sweet because there'll be so many people contacting, I know, after this. So
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Sounds good.
even
Hi,
if they
hi.
just want to send me that text house number and name for survey. Sama.
Okay. $20.
$20. $20.
All right.
Basta no.
Lista no. Awahin.
Okay. Hi. Thank you to Sandra, Janelle, Tiara, and Donna for sharing your time, your knowledge, and your commitment to our language, to our community. The Cree Language Survey is now live. Home visits are coming, and your participation matters. Thank you for listening to the Seven Generation Podcast. Before we go, the ladies here will be set up at the gala tonight. So keep an eye out for them. Come do the survey, get entered into a draw. And yeah, it'll be
Yep.
an ongoing thing
Yep.
next 2 weeks. So
Yep.
it'll be going hard. So reach out.
Mm-hmm.
Good. Good. You have anything?
Email, oh my God, it naman gala moved to Friday.
Oh, really? I didn't.
Utame may gisagagawin Sims pag ito wag sa Weather Network. Agway
Okay.
Yan gisagagay ko at sisa.
Okay.
Yeah, so I guess an update here for the community. Gala is supposed to be on tonight, but they're moving that to Friday because of the snowstorm that's expected for this area.
Okay. That's
Okay,
okay. Yep.
that's okay. All right. Another thing too, while we're here, I just got an email to the one that I did look at. There was a motion passed this morning from Chief and Council that you're going to be shutting down operations for Onion Lake today at 12 o'clock. So just because of the snowstorm and expected travel for everybody not from the area, so 12 o'clock offices are closed. Gala moved to Friday.
I love how we're all so fluid. Like we just okay, cool.
Yeah.
Right on.
There's a lot of that. There's a lot of pivoting and adjusting, and I think that's what makes us
Pretty
deadly.
unique. Yeah, that's right.
All right. All right. Thanks again, ladies, for doing this. For the viewers, have a good day. Be safe out there.
Hello
and
to
we
my
wish
red
you all
pheasant
a good
elders.
day. Oh.
They're all listening, my elders back home. Yeah.